Hi there. Today I'm going to go through LeetCode problem number 25, reverse nodes in K group. So for this question, we're giving a linked list. We need to reverse the nodes of a linked list K at a time and return its modified list. So before I go through this question, I really want to go through two basic things. Easier question first. So the first question is that I bet you guys are very familiar with it. It's a reversed linked list. So for this one, our input is 1, 2, 3, and none, and our output should be 3.22, 2.21, 1.29. So over here you can easily see we just change the direction of the arrow, right? Not the value things. So this is very important. So since our one need to point to none, so I will have a previous nodes over here. You can see in my step 1, I have a previous node to point out my down stuff. And definitely we need to traverse this linked list, right? So our current node is 1 over here. In the step 2, if we just change the next pointer of the 1 directly to point out our previous nodes, I think you can say this should be wrong. Why? Because at this point we will never reach out these nodes, the left linked list, right? From the head as 2. So for here is very important. It's like we write the swap function to swap the 2 elements in our array. We need to save one element first, like a temp, because in that case, at the end, we can reach it out to swap it, right? So basically the same idea. Before we point out this one, we need to save our 2 nodes as our temporary one. So for the step 2, we definitely what's wrong? So for the step 2, we definitely should save it. It's this one. Save our nodes. And for the step 3, we change the pointers, the next things for our 1. We change the direction of our arrow. For step 4, we move our cursor to reverse the entire linked list. And until we got our current node is equal to none, we just directly return the previous nodes over here is these things. So this is the first question I want to reverse. Okay, after we go through the first easy question I want to traverse, I want to go through the second easy question I want to traverse. So think about this problem. We need to reverse the linked list between 2 nodes. Between 2 nodes means, for example, over here, I give you 2 nodes, the beginning nodes and end nodes. Between 0 to 4, I need to reverse the 1, 2, 3. How should we do it? So it's kind of similar compared to our first question, except in our first question, we said our previous node is equal to none, right? But in this question, we actually have our previous node. The previous node over here, I mean the beginning node, because we need to reverse 1, 2, 3, and our beginning node over here is 0. So what should we do? So it's like the first question, we get the reference of our beginning node is our previous one, and we have a current node and our temp node. Definitely we need to have our temporary node and the end node. And what you should really pay attention is that for our 0 over here, it's not a no anymore. It's a node. That means for the 0, have a next can point to 1. And after we point the 1's next to 0, the point of 0 is still over there. It's not disappeared. This point is very important. So step 4, we just traverse the entire step 3, we just traverse the entire linked list like our first question. And step 4, keep traversed until what? Until our current node equal to our end node, right? Over here is very important, because what our output is 0.3 and 3.2, 2.1, 1.4. And over here, you can say our 0 still point to 1, right? So for this step, we need to point to our beginning dot next equal to our previous. Previous over here is the 3. It's pretty much like in the first question, we return the previous, because that means we return the head of our reversed linked list, right? This one is very important. And the next step is that we need to connect our 1 to 4, because as you can see over here, our 4 is our 4 doesn't connect to any node, so we need to connect our 1 to 4. And in this point, you can see the 1 is pointed to 0, but over here we don't have any reference to point to 1 to change the next, right? So at the beginning, we need to save one reference for 1, because when we want to get access of it as a end of the list. So we will set over here for this line, we will set a temporary linked list named the first is equal to the next begin dot next. So for this step over here, it's very important. We just assigned first dot next equal to our current node 4. And finally, we got 0.23, 3.2, 2.21, 1.224. So this is a second smaller function I want to go through. Okay, since we already traversed the 2 basic functions, I want to introduce. So let's go through our question 25. Reverse the nodes in K group. Let's traverse the example when the K is equal to 3. So what we return should be the 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. So how can we fix this question? By using the 2 functions I just covered it. So I have a hint. The hint is that because every time I know when I need to return a linked list, the head of the linked list will be changed. So usually I will use dominoes to connect my action head. So in that case, I will return the domino.next. Then I will get my answer. I think it's a very good technique. So I will declare domino equal to new missed node -1. So I will connect the domino next equal to my head over here. So for this question, I will connect it to show that the question is a kind of similar to our first not first, I'm so sorry, the second function I introduced. So in this way, you just think about it. When our k is equal to 3, that means how about we have a pointer, the reference. Okay, this is our beginning nodes, and we count. Every time we count the number of our nodes I traversed. If it can mod our k, that means we need to reverse it. If it cannot mod our k, that means we cannot reverse it. We just continue to traverse. So for this node, we traverse it. Our counter is 1, and counter is 2, and over here counter is 3. Okay, it's the 3. That means we found the things we need to traverse. We need to reverse. That means we need to reverse 1, 2, 3 over here, right? So think about the second functions I just implemented. How about I pass? Let's have a current reference over here. Current over here is the 3. How about I call over here? I call this function I just introduced second, reversed between two nodes. So over here I will recall reversed between nodes. The first node's parameter we should pass is our beginning, and the next one is our current .next, right? That's exactly the way. Exactly the same way. It's kind of the same things with our second question, right? By so far. But one more question is that after we traversed it, like this one, sorry. After we do finish it, how should we traverse the second part, like 4, 5, 6, right? This means we need to consider the return things from our hyper method over here. So think about it. So after we done this one, our begin should should become this one, right? Our current, it should be like this one. We need to, and we do the repeat the same things like the half step. So how should we get it? So let's continue this one. Okay. Take a look over here. After we traverse all the things, our first will become to this position. That means we need to return the F node. Where is the 1? Over here. Because the F node means the first node we just assigned before, will be the beginning of the next K group sublist. So I think that's it. This is the question for today. I hope you guys are understanding. Right. So I will show my nodes, show my code over here. Over here, there is my code. I have a hyper method, which is basically the second function I traversed, and I return the first node, which means I return the sublist head, which is not reversed before. Like, which is for this one, I will return the 1 over here, and this one, and over here. In this main function, the while loop, what I return will be my new begin, and my head will equal to my head begin.next. So this is question for today. Thank you. Bye.